Welcome to Psych with Sigmund, the show where we explore the fascinating world of psychology and uncover the secrets of the human mind. I'm your host, Sigmund, and today we're going to talk about a psychological concept that's both intriguing and enlightening: psychological projection. So, what is psychological projection? Simply put, it's when we attribute our own unwanted thoughts, feelings, or motivations to someone else. It's like looking into a mirror, but instead of seeing our own reflection, we see the reflection of others. This concept is important in psychology because it helps us understand how our minds defend themselves against uncomfortable truths about ourselves. The idea of psychological projection has been around for over a century, and it was first introduced by Sigmund Freud, the founder of psychoanalysis. According to Freud, projection is a defense mechanism that we use to avoid feeling guilty or anxious about our own desires or impulses. For example, if someone accuses others of being dishonest, they may be projecting their own tendency to be dishonest onto others. One of the key psychological theories that explains psychological projection is the concept of ego defense mechanisms. Our ego uses various strategies to protect itself from feelings of anxiety, guilt, or shame. Projection is one such strategy, where we attribute our own unacceptable thoughts or behaviors to someone else. This way, we can maintain a positive self-image and avoid confronting our own flaws. Another important theory that contributes to our understanding of psychological projection is social psychology's concept of attribution theory. This theory suggests that we tend to attribute our own behavior to external factors, while attributing others' behavior to their internal characteristics. For instance, if we fail an exam, we might blame the teacher or the exam questions, but if someone else fails, we might say they're not smart enough. This bias in attribution can lead to projection, where we assume others have the same thoughts or feelings that we do. Research has shown that psychological projection is a common phenomenon, and it can manifest in various ways. For example, studies have found that people who are more prejudiced against certain groups tend to project their own negative qualities onto those groups. Similarly, individuals with anxiety or depression may project their own emotions onto others, assuming that others feel the same way. One classic study on psychological projection is the Robbers Cave experiment, conducted by Muzafer Sherif in 1954. In this study, two groups of boys were placed in a summer camp setting and were encouraged to compete against each other. As the competition intensified, the boys began to project negative qualities onto the opposing group, such as assuming they were cheating or trying to sabotage them. This experiment demonstrates how projection can be used to justify our own behavior and create an us versus them mentality. In addition to these theoretical frameworks, research has also explored the neural mechanisms underlying psychological projection. Studies using functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, have found that areas of the brain involved in self-referential processing, such as the medial prefrontal cortex, are active when we engage in projection. This suggests that our brains are wired to blur the lines between ourselves and others, making it easier to project our own thoughts and feelings onto others. Understanding psychological projection can be incredibly helpful in our personal and professional relationships. By recognizing when we're projecting our own thoughts or feelings onto others, we can take a step back, reflect on our own motivations, and communicate more effectively. For instance, if we find ourselves assuming that someone is angry with us, we might ask them directly how they feel instead of making assumptions. This can help prevent misunderstandings and improve our relationships. Therapeutic approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, can also help individuals become more aware of their projections and work through underlying issues. By identifying and challenging negative thought patterns, individuals can develop a more realistic and compassionate understanding of themselves and others. In conclusion, psychological projection is a complex psychological concept that reveals the intricate workings of our minds. By understanding this concept, we can gain insight into our own thought patterns, behaviors, and relationships. As my experience with clients has shown me, recognizing and addressing projection can be a powerful tool for personal growth and self-awareness. So, the next time you catch yourself accusing someone else of something, take a moment to reflect on whether you might be projecting your own thoughts or feelings onto them. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, may your ego find balance between pleasure and reality.